Our planet, a vibrant sphere of life, depends on a thin, often overlooked layer, the soil. This living tapestry teems with organisms that nourish our crops and sustain our ecosystems. Yet we treat it like dirt. Conventional agriculture, with its insatiable hunger for production, has waged a silent war on this precious resource. The consequences are stark, the future uncertain. Soil degradation, a creeping disaster, threatens our very ability to feed ourselves. The statistics are alarming. Every year we lose topsoil at an alarming rate, far exceeding the pace of natural replenishment. This precious resource, built over millennia, is vanishing at a rate that should shake us to our core. The very ground beneath our feet is eroding, and with it our capacity to sustain life as we know it. This is not a crisis of some distant future. It is happening now. The signs are all around us: depleted fields, polluted waterways, and a growing reliance on artificial inputs to prop up failing systems. We are at a crossroads. Continue down the path of conventional agriculture, and we face a future of increasing scarcity and environmental collapse. But there is another way. By embracing regenerative agriculture, we can heal the land and secure our future. For decades, conventional agriculture has prioritized short-term gains over long-term sustainability. Driven by a single-minded focus on yield, it has unleashed a cocktail of destructive practices upon our soils. These practices, often touted as advancements, have left a legacy of degradation and depletion. The very water we rely on, the lifeblood of our planet, has become a weapon in this war on soil. Water-intensive agriculture, often employed in arid and semi-arid regions, has led to salinization, rendering once fertile lands barren. But the assault doesn't end there. Pesticides, those chemical weapons deployed in the name of pest control, have infiltrated our soils and waterways, poisoning the very fabric of life. These toxins accumulate in the food chain, posing a silent threat to human and animal health. The consequences of our actions are coming home to roost. The writing is on the wall, etched into the degraded landscapes and the contaminated waters. We can no longer afford to ignore the plight of our soil. The time for change is now. Water, the elixir of life, can ironically become a destructive force when mismanaged in agriculture. While essential for plant growth, excessive irrigation, particularly in water-stressed regions, disrupts the natural water balance, leading to a cascade of negative consequences. One such consequence is salinization. Salinization, the accumulation of salts in the soil, occurs when irrigation water evaporates, leaving behind dissolved salts that build up over time. This process, exacerbated by poor drainage, transforms fertile land into barren wastelands. Imagine vast stretches of once productive fields, now shimmering white with salt crusts, incapable of supporting life. This is not a problem confined to distant lands. In many parts of the world, including regions of the United States, salinization threatens agricultural productivity and food security. The statistics are sobering. According to the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, salinization affects an estimated 20% of irrigated land worldwide, jeopardizing the livelihoods of millions of farmers. The consequences extend beyond agriculture. As salts leach into groundwater, they contaminate drinking water sources, posing risks to human health. Moreover, salinized soils are more susceptible to erosion, further degrading the land and exacerbating environmental problems. In our quest to maximize yields, we have waged a chemical war on our fields, deploying an arsenal of pesticides to combat pests and diseases. These potent chemicals, while effective in the short term, have unleashed unintended consequences that reverberate through our ecosystems. Pesticides don't discriminate. They kill beneficial insects, disrupt soil microbial communities, and contaminate water sources. Imagine a silent spring devoid of the buzz of pollinators, the soil stripped of its natural defenders, and streams running foul with chemical runoff. The human cost is equally alarming. Exposure to pesticides has been linked to a range of health problems, from respiratory illnesses to cancer. Farm workers, often with inadequate protection, face the highest risks, but consumers are not immune. Pesticide residues linger on our food, posing potential threats to our well-being. the environmental toll is equally grim. Pesticides persist in the environment, accumulating in the food chain and contaminating water bodies. They disrupt delicate ecosystems, threatening biodiversity and undermining the very foundations of our food system. Imagine a vast field stretching as far as the eye can see, planted with a single crop, a sea of uniformity. This is monoculture, the practice of growing the same crop year after year on the same land. While seemingly efficient, this practice weakens the soil, making it vulnerable to pests, diseases, and erosion. Monoculture depletes the soil of essential nutrients as the same crop, season after season, draws upon the same limited reserves. Imagine a bank account from which you constantly withdraw but never deposit. Eventually, the account runs dry. This depletion necessitates increasing inputs of synthetic fertilizers, creating a vicious cycle of dependence. These fertilizers, while replenishing some nutrients, disrupt the soil's delicate balance, harming beneficial organisms and polluting water resources. Furthermore, monoculture reduces biodiversity, creating a haven for pests and diseases. Without natural predators to keep them in check, these pests can multiply rapidly, leading to widespread crop losses and increased pesticide use, further exacerbating the problem. Section 6. Industrial agriculture ploughing a path to destruction. Industrial agriculture, with its emphasis on large-scale production and mechanization, has transformed the agricultural landscape, but this transformation has come at a cost, leaving a trail of soil degradation and environmental damage. Heavy machinery, while efficient, compacts the soil, squeezing out the air spaces essential for root growth and water infiltration. Imagine a sponge, its pores compressed, unable to absorb water. That's what happens to compacted soil. This compaction reduces water infiltration, increasing runoff and erosion. Rain, instead of soaking into the ground, rushes over the surface, carrying away topsoil and polluting waterways with sediment and agricultural chemicals. Furthermore, the constant tilling associated with industrial agriculture disrupts soil structure, exposing it to the erosive forces of wind and rain. Imagine a plowed field, the soil bare and vulnerable, like skin stripped of its protective layer. It's a recipe for disaster. Section 7. Overgrazing, stripping the land bare. Livestock grazing, an integral part of many agricultural systems, can be a double-edged sword. While moderate grazing can benefit grasslands, overgrazing, the excessive pressure of too many animals on too little land, degrades the land, turning pastures into dust bowls. Imagine a herd of cattle confined to a limited area, their hooves trampling the vegetation, leaving the soil bare and exposed. This overgrazing weakens the plants, making it difficult for them to recover. As vegetation disappears, the soil loses its protective cover, becoming vulnerable to erosion by wind and rain. The topsoil, rich in nutrients and organic matter, is carried away, leaving behind a barren wasteland incapable of supporting life. This degradation has far-reaching consequences. It reduces the land's carrying capacity, forcing pastoralists to move their herds in search of new grazing lands, perpetuating the cycle of overgrazing. Moreover, it contributes to desertification, the transformation of once productive land into deserts. Section 8. Regenerative Agriculture, a beacon of hope. In the face of widespread soil degradation, a new paradigm is emerging: regenerative agriculture. This holistic approach seeks to work with nature, not against it, to restore soil health, enhance biodiversity, and create resilient agricultural systems. Imagine a tapestry of diverse crops, intermingled with trees and cover crops, their roots reaching deep into the soil, creating a living network that nourishes and protects. This is the essence of regenerative agriculture. Central to this approach is minimizing soil disturbance. Instead of ploughing, farmers employ no-till or reduced-till practices, leaving crop residues on the surface to protect the soil and enhance organic matter. Diversity is another cornerstone. By growing a variety of crops, farmers mimic the complexity of natural ecosystems, breaking pest and disease cycles and improving soil fertility. Livestock, managed holistically, play a vital role. Their grazing patterns, carefully planned, can stimulate plant growth, improve soil structure, and recycle nutrients. Section 9. Conclusion: a future grown from healthy soil. The future of our food system, indeed our very civilization, depends on healthy soil. Regenerative agriculture offers a path forward, a way to heal the land, enhance biodiversity, and create a more sustainable and just food system. Imagine a world where farms are not just food factories, but thriving ecosystems, teeming with life above and below ground. A world where farmers are stewards of the land, working in harmony with nature to produce nourishing food for all. This is not a utopian dream, but a necessity. The time for action is now. By embracing regenerative agriculture, we can reverse the tide of soil degradation, restore the health of our planet, and secure a future of abundance for generations to come.